Okay, this is the third videos about rotation. So I hope if you are watching this video, just make sure you already watched the first and the second video about rotation. If not, you might feel a bit confused when you are watching this video. Okay, anyways, here I'm going to give you some sort of exercise or example to make you understand better about rotation. Okay, first we have a look on the question number 1 over here. It says rotation 90-degree clockwise about M. Mean actually when they say about M, mean actually M is the center point, because always about the center point. Okay, now rotate clockwise. Okay, I hope all of you understand what is the meaning of clockwise. Clockwise means following the clock direction. Alright, so from here, okay, on the second video actually I teach about the translation method. So we calculate from center point to L. What is the translation? So it will be 1, 2, 3, and then go up, moving upward 2 units, 1, 2. So this translation actually we will call it 3, 2, 3, 2. Okay, if you learn about translation, you should understand what is the meaning for 3, 2. So I say if this is rotation 3, 2, we have to flip over, become 2, 3. And then if clockwise, we add a negative on the bottom. So this is the new translation for clockwise 90-degree. Okay, this is a new translation for clockwise 90-degree and calculate from center point. So that means I calculate from center point 1, 2, -3 moving downward 3 units, 1, 2, 3. So this one here will be my new coordinate of L. So if you're trying to like connect them, you can see the 90-degree clearly. If you're trying to connect them, you can see actually here is 90-degree. Alright, so actually not really hard, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, for this one, rotate 90-degree anti-clockwise. Okay, anti-clockwise about the center M. Okay, clockwise is this direction, anti-clockwise actually is this direction. So that means anti-clockwise we're going to move over here. So I just connect them. Okay. Okay, this one is calculated from the center point. The translation will be -3 because I move 3 units to the left hand side. So this one is -3, 0. Alright, and then I say if anti-clockwise we have to flip over also, become 0, -3, and add a negative on the top. But then -0 will go back 0. So this one will be your new translation for rotation anti-clockwise 90 degrees. So will be, okay, so will be 0, -3, 0, -3 means actually move downward 1, 2, 3. So this one will be the new coordinate for L. You can see middle always have 90 degree. Alright, for this one, rotation 180 degree. I say rotation 180 degree, the translation you have to add a negative to the top and bottom, and then you don't need to flip over, only for 180. So let's find out the translation over here. Actually we have 1, 2, 1, 2. This is +2, +2. So the translation for this question will be 2, 2. Okay, when 180, we add a negative to top and bottom only. So it will be -2, -2. This is the translation from the center point. So -2 is 1, 2, -2 will be 1, 2. So this is a new L. Okay, for 180 degree, you always can connect and then make a straight line one. Okay, this is something special about 180 degree. So you can see, actually this is a straight line. And then the distance here and distance here is the same. Of course, for all the rotation, the distance from the center point have to be same. Alright, okay, let's have a look on this one. Okay, so same thing, rotation clockwise 180 is about M. So clockwise, so find the translation first from the center point. Always come from the center point. So from center point to L, we find the translation, and then you always move X first. Mean moved on the x-axis first. Okay, so it will be -1, -2, -3, 1. So this one we call -3, 1. Alright, and then I said clockwise, we have to flip over, will become 1, -3, and then we add a negative to the bottom, become +3. Okay, if you do not understand what is this, go and find out the second videos. Maybe I will write something like rotation 2. Alright, so 1, 3 mean actually 1 is moved this way, 3 is moving 3 units upwards. 1, 2, 3. So this one will be your new coordinate of L. So if you connect them, you can see there's a 90° for that. Okay, let's choose something more interesting. Okay, let's have a look on the last one. Okay, for this one, same thing. Okay, rotation 180° about M. So 180, it says very simple. This is 1, 2, 1, 2. So will be 2, 2. So after rotation, 180 add negative top and bottom, -2, -2. So you should have -2, -2 will be over here. L image. 180, you can always connect them, it's a straight line. Alright, this is some basic stuff to give you some insight on how to do all the rotation and how to find the coordinate. Okay, if you understand, then how about we do it in a graph paper? Okay, let me zoom out. Okay, this one actually is the same, just in these cases it have 3 coordinates. Okay, and then in these cases we set our center point at 0, 0, means this one is the center point. Okay, now let's see what happened when the rotation happened. Okay, first, if this is the center point, okay, we always find out the translation first. Okay, the translation to A will be 3 units here and then 3 units on the top. So this one called 3, 3 for A. Alright, so from here you can understand translation for A will be, oops, sorry. The translation for A will be, okay, let me take a piece of paper first. Okay. Oh, let me take a piece of paper. Okay, flip it. Okay, translation from center point to A will be 3, 3. Okay, this one is from center point to A. Alright, so it's a 3, 3. So we rotate this coordinate first. So let's say the first question we do is rotation clockwise 90°. Okay, or in short form, rotation clockwise 90°. So first we rotate this one first. I say when rotation clockwise, what we do is the 3, 3 here we flip over. Okay, it's a 3, 3, but then you have to add a negative to the bottom. Okay, this is for your translation for your new coordinate of A. So it will be 3, -3 from the center point. So I'm going to calculate 3 is over here. 1, 2, 3. -3 go downward. 1, 2, 3. So this one will be your new coordinate of A. Okay, you're going to do the same for B. Find the translation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. This one we call 5, 3. So the translation for B will be 5, 3. So I say B image, you just flip over, become 3, 5, add a negative to the bottom for clockwise. If anti-clockwise, add a negative on the top. Alright, so this is the translation from the center is 3, -5. So from the center, 3, -5 is 1, 2, 3. -5 is moving downward, 5 units is over here. So this one is the new coordinate of B. Okay, and then we go to C. C, the translation will be 3, 6. So from here, the translation for C will be 3 and 6. 3 and 6. So the C image will be flipped over, it becomes 6, 3, and a negative to the bottom. Okay, this is the translation for C image. So we just from the center point, we calculate 6, mean moving here 6 units, -3, 1, 2, 3. So this one is the new image of C. After that, what you do is very simple. You connect them. And then you will got the image for ABC under the rotation 90 degree clockwise at about the center 0, 0. Right, I mean this one rotate. Actually you can connect, you can see every part is 90 degree. Okay, if you want me to connect, I can try to connect for you. You can see all the, this one is 90 degree. Okay, from A through center point. Here you can see this is 90 degree. And then from C to C you can see it's 90 degree also. If you connect C to C. C here and then C here. You can see there are 90 degree also. And then last one, B to B is from 90 degree also. This is the meaning rotate 90 degree at about the center point. Mean all three coordinates also will form the 90 degree. Also will form the 90 degree at the center point. Alright. Now let's say this is the object again. Okay, let's say we rotate anti-clockwise. We rotate anti-clockwise 90 degree. Alright. We rotate anti-clockwise. So now the new cases over here. Okay. Just ignore about this one. Now we do the rotation anti-clockwise 90 degree. Alright. So I say anti-clockwise, what happened is the new image of A, I put 2 dots lah for the new image of A. Will be flip over 3, 3, but then you add a negative on the top. Okay. B will be the same. Flip over 5, 3 will become 3, 5. Have a look here. Don't have a look here. This one. Okay, become 3, 5. Add a negative on the top. For the C also same. 3, 6 will become 6, 3. Add a negative on the top. All of this depart from the center point. This one calculate from the center point. Then you can find a new image of A. So let's see. Find the A from the center point now is 0, 0, right? So this is negative 3. Mean moving this side 3 units. Positive 3 mean moving upwards 3 units. Alright, translation should be no problem, right? So let's see. We'll have 1, 2, 3. And then moving upward 1, 2, 3. This is the new image of A. Alright. And then for B will be negative 3, 5. So negative 3 and then moving upward 5 units. This one will be new coordinate for B. And then new coordinate for C will be negative 6, 3. So it will be negative 6, 3. C. So after that, what I do is very simple. I just connect 3 of these coordinates and form a triangle. So you can see, actually, this one is the image of this one under the rotation. Rotation anti-clockwise 90 degree about the center at origin 0, 0. Alright, so if full description is very easy, you just write rotation 180 degree, rotation 90 degree anti-clockwise at, you can write about the center 0, 0. Okay, so this is full description. And inside a full description, you must mention the degree, direction, and center point. Okay, so you just say rotation 90 degree anti-clockwise about the center 0, 0. Alright, this is, if you got the full description, you got 2 marks in your paper 2. Alright, and then yes, how about 180 degree? Okay, actually 180 degree is quite simple, but then since I already teach you about this the translation method, so I'm going to use the methods for 180 degree also. So this one is rotation 180, do not have clockwise or anti-clockwise, so rotation 180 degree. So for this one, I say it's very simple. I put 3 dot A. Okay, what you need to do is both also you add a negative for it. So you have -3, -3. For B dot, add negative for both. -5, -3. C is the same, add negative for both. -3, -6. Because rotation 180, you no need to flip over the number. It doesn't same as the 90-degree clockwise or anti-clockwise, because this one you have to flip the number 5, 3, 1, 3, 5. But in this one, no need. You just add negative to both for rotation 180 degrees. So we're going to see -3, -3. So from this diagram, I find -3, -3. So this is my first coordinate. So I'm going to call it A image 3 dot. Alright, so and then for B will be -5, -3. So -5, -3. So it'll be somewhere over here. So this one will be my B. Okay, last one will be -3, -6. So it will be -3, -6 will be here. This one will be my C. And then, oops, something wrong, because let's see, this one is -5, -3, correct. This is -3, -3. The last one will be -3, -6. Oops, oh, the number is wrong here. This is 6, this is 8. So -6 should be somewhere over here. Yeah. Alright, because 2, 4, and 6. So this one is -6. Then I draw a triangle for it. Okay, this is the object, this is the image 180 degree. And 180 degree, the good part of it is you can always use the ruler to connect. Actually, you will form a straight line, means the A will actually pass through the A, they will touch it. Do you see? And B, if pass through center point, it will touch it also. You see, B actually, he touch B. C, he will touch C also through the center point. So you can see actually they are touching. Alright, but then you must always be careful, because rotation 180 degree is different with reflection. Because a lot of students will think they are the same. They are not the same. Alright, if you understand that one, then will be good. Okay, now, okay, I believe all of you already can rotate 90 degree clockwise, anti-clockwise. This is clockwise, clockwise. This is anti-clockwise. This is 180. 180, because 180 clockwise or anti-clockwise, you got back the same thing. Okay, so basically this is some things about rotation. Okay, now the last part about rotation, which I think is the most difficult part, is to find the center point of the rotation, because all of this one is given a center point and then ask you to rotate. How about he give you image, he give you object and image, and then ask you to find the center point. Okay, this is what we're going to learn in this last part of this video. Then we can move on. Okay. Okay, let's have a look on this one. Okay, if you got something like this, how are you going to find the center point? Actually, the way you need to know about find the center point is very simple. Let's say, if I know this is A, this is A, this is A, this is A image, what I do is I try to connect them. And then I form a perpendicular bisector. Do you know what is the meaning for perpendicular bisector? Means actually I cut this straight line into the half and make sure into the half, and then form a 90 degree here. Okay, this line we call perpendicular bisector of this line. And then what you need to do is you connect B to B also, and then you form a perpendicular bisector line for B to B as well. And then two perpendicular bisector lines, they touch each other, that one will be the center point. Alright, of course you cannot simply use hand to do the perpendicular bisector. So one of the method you will find in most of the reference books is actually he teach you how to do it using the compass. So over here I'm going to mention that methods as well. So I hope that method actually will give you some insight. Okay, first, okay, let me take out my compass. Okay, this is my compass. So I'm going to use this one to trying to help you to find the center point. Because if I know center point is roughly somewhere over here, because this image is actually rotating to here, so it's somewhere over here. Impossible over here, because over here he will go this way already. You mean he go outside of the graph. Okay, however, okay, let me just do, okay, and the same thing. Okay, I draw a line from A to A image, and then, okay, compress, I think most of you know how to do, right? Okay, this one very sharp one, okay, you stick on the A, and then you make sure you open this one big enough. Okay, let me zoom out a bit, if not you're going to be very hard to see the big picture. Alright, okay, let's see. Okay, and then you draw one over here, and then you draw one over here. I think this one you learn in Form 3, perpendicular, how to draw perpendicular bisector. And then the sharp one you stick on the A image, okay, and then you make an intersection to what you draw just now, top and bottom. Okay, so if you zoom in, you can roughly see the intersection point over here. Do you see the intersect over here? Seems to here. So I connect the intersects to the intersect. Alright, do you see that? So I'm going to connect it. So this one, he definitely is 90 degrees, and then he will divide this straight line into the half. Okay, now this straight line is very important, because later this straight line will intersect with another straight line is perpendicular bisector to B or C to C, and then the intersection point is your rotation point. Alright, so okay, let me zoom out a bit. Alright, okay, B to B is very simple. Okay, so if you straight away connect actually perpendicular bisector, you can using the calculate methods because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, because this one is a straight line already, so 10 you just divide into half and then you draw a horizontal line. It's perpendicular bisector already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so this line you just connect. Yes, here will be perpendicular bisector. Why I say so? Because here is 5 column, here is 5 column. So distance from here and here is the same. So you draw a set line, you sure it's 90 degrees. So now, the key point over here is when this set line, oops, let me see what happens to my pilot pen. Okay, when this set line and this set line, they will intersect at one point. This point is the center point. Alright, so you must very be careful when you take the straight line. You couldn't take this straight line. This straight line is just connect A to A image only. You want to take the line which is perpendicular bisector to A image. Same, you cannot take the line connect B to B image. You want to take the straight line which is perpendicular bisector to the B to B image straight line, which is this one. I draw it with a red color, and then two of this straight line will intersect at one point. This one is a center point. Okay, after that you can trying to check is you're trying to connect, let's say A to A image, see whether you can form a 90 degree or not. So actually you find out actually this one is a 90 degree. Same thing, if you connect B to B, you will see it is a 90 degree. Let me connect B to B, B to B. Okay, so you can see actually this one is 90 degree. If you not believe, you can try to take the compass and measure it. You can take the compass and measure it, and then you will find out actually this is a 90 degree. Yes, do you see? This one actually is a 90 degree. From B through here is a 90 degree. Alright, so this is one of the ways to find the center point. Of course, this way actually will take a lot of time when you are doing this in the exam. Alright, so over here I'm going to teach you an expressway. However, the expressway is not always accurate, just to make sure you can find it faster. Alright, so we're going to see another example over here. Let's see. Okay, we want to find the rotation point for here. So first thing is, okay, from Z to Z, I just connect them. We know perpendicular bisector is we need to draw a 90 degree and cut it into the half. Okay, this is perpendicular bisector. So here you must get some concept. Is like this. If this is a rectangle, we have a rectangle like this. If I, okay, we see this box, 2 multiple 2 box, 2 here, 2 here. Okay, if I cut this box into the half, how I'm going to form a perpendicular bisector is I cut another half over here. Because here is sure perpendicular and middle is sure is 90 degree. Alright, so this is the way. So I'm going to cut like this. And then he will form a 90 degree like this. Alright. Okay, I think some error about my videos. Okay, anyways, I think this video is enough for you to understand about the rotation. Okay, thanks for watching.